guys, let's back up a second. I tried to move on from the topic of Dustin Poirier saying if he wins the belt, he's going to go to 170. I tried to move on from that topic. I grabbed a drink of water. I came back. You know what? We're only thinking about this from Dustin's standpoint. What about Oliveira? What if Dustin, and Dustin said, you got to stay with me on this, because this is the quote, if I win the belt, I'm going up to 170. He didn't say after this fight, I'm going to 170. That's extremely relevant. I don't know why. I don't know why with a loss he would stay. I don't know why with a victory then all of a sudden he can't make the weight. But these are Dustin's words. Let's operate within it. I give you an entire diatribe of what happens to Dustin Poirier. Does he move up? Does that open the door for him versus Conor? And it wouldn't be a title fight. Does he have to go up and fight Kamaru Usman? What we didn't look at is what does it do for Oliveira? Let's say that Dustin beats Oliveira, proving that Dustin is the only guy alive who can beat Oliveira, and Dustin then leaves. What happens to Oliveira? If that title becomes vacant, and Oliveira proved he could beat everybody else except for the guy that is now gone, what does it do to Oliveira? And this was just tested, by the way. This was tested 3 to 4 months ago with Justin Gaethje. Gaethje fought Khabib. Khabib beat him, but Khabib left. Justin disappeared. Never heard from Justin Gaethje. He pulled off of social media. He stopped doing everything. Dana goes to a press conference and says, I might just keep Gaethje on ice, and I might just bring Gaethje right into a title fight. Now, Dana's thinking behind that was, he beat everybody else. The one guy he can't beat is now gone. That means that it's not as though Gaethje got worse. Khabib showed he was better, but Khabib's gone. That leaves Justin versus who? This was Dana's thought. Now, Dana did not go through on that thought, but he at least had it. And so I'm bringing that to you now. If Oliveira was to, goodbye, everybody, go up to 170, we got to figure out, I apologize, Poirier, can figure out what you're going to do with Dustin up there. Does he become the automatic number one contender? Does he have to become the number one contender? Does he have to go through other guys? Do you do the super fight with Conor? Okay, that's tomorrow's problem. But the next day's problem is what the hell do you do with Oliveira? Because now you got a division that's thrown its hands up again. There's few things that irritate Dana, that truly irritate him. He is irritated when he has a division that has a vacant belt. I don't know why. Because it doesn't irritate me as a fan. I love it. I do. It provides opportunity. Now, instead of one guy getting to fight for a world championship, you get two guys. I look at it from a different perspective. I just see it a little bit differently. I love what goes on. When St. Pierre bailed, and okay, well, who's going to come in at 85? And not only do we have to figure out who, now we got to come up with two who's. That's a fun problem to have. I love having problems like that. I could only imagine what we'd have at 155. 155 has never been more fun. We have one of the great fights of 2021 going on right now. Right as we speak. It's between Islam and Justin Gaethje, and they're never going to throw a punch at one another. It is one of the great fights, but that fight has only emerged, and this is after Chandler had his say. This is after Darush had his say. This is after Tony Ferguson had his say. And the only reasons those guys had anything to say is because you had a belt that was vacated. The environment that creates for me, I'm just talking the viewer, I'm talking the fan. You got a commodity of the unified rules. There's another commodity that I need to have served. They do a show every Saturday. I'm up Sunday through the following Friday, and I need to be entertained. And it's the back and forth and the headlines and the media and the who said what that satisfies that for me to get me from week to week. You guys can relate to that, right? That's why we all sit down, right? Me, the two of you, the window sheen, that's why we do this. Because we want it. We can't wait from week to week. We're too big of fans. I don't hate it. I disagree with Dana seldomly. I do on that. I don't mind having a vacant belt. I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy going after hardware. I come to you with my own background, though, that of amateur wrestling. And when I got into college, you are now a professional in that you are paid to be there. You have a job to do, and it's coming with a compensation in the form of a scholarship. Even at the college level, the coaches never told us what weight we had to go. We had something. Now, once you commit, once you say you're going to weight, they damn sure will hold you to it, but you get to choose. You get to get in that environment. You get to look left and look right. You get to figure out where you're most likely to fit in, and then you will have what's known as a challenge match. I was a 97 pounder. So if I raise my hand and say I'm going 197, whoever else raises their hand, we then internally lock the doors. It's just us and the team. See what happens, and you will shake hands. One of the coaches will officiate it. They will set a timer. They will keep score, and that guy advances on, and that's how you earn a varsity spot. But I only bring that to you because I do like the idea of a grown man, of a professional being able to change weights. Now, once he commits, he's got to follow through with that, but that commitment is done in the form of a contract, which is signed 10 weeks before the bout. So he can change? Sure he can. It was cool what Izzy Adesanya did, having the 85-pound belt, going after the 205-pound. Not to mention, Adesanya didn't vacate. I think a guy should have to vacate. I do. If you're the 85-pound champion, you're going to 205, you are no longer the 85-pound champ. Chael's rules. Chael, I think that. But Izzy didn't do that, and when it didn't work out at 205, boom, he had a nice soft landing. I think one of the reasons it didn't work out at 205 is because he didn't have to vacate, my own opinion. I've seen this happen on the world stage for politics. If a senator runs for president and the senator does not resign the Senate seat, what he's telling the whole world is, I'm not sure I'm going to be president. It's a big deal. The senator must resign the Senate seat to run for president and be taken serious. A number of senators have tested this, not resign, and guess where they are right now? They're in the U.S. Senate. I submit for you, one of the reasons that Adesanya did not have the motivation in rounds 4 and 5 that Blachowicz did, Adesanya had a place to fall. He didn't burn his boats. I don't challenge Izzy for this. I don't see it as Izzy's problem. I'm sharing with you, everything has a built-in byproduct, whether you meant for it to be there or not. And when a guy gets to maintain a championship at 185 pounds, he wants to be the champion of the world. He wants to be recognized. He wants to be on the posters. He wants to be on the top of the bill. If you guarantee that he's going to do that, regardless of the outcome of his next match, of course there's a motivation that's gone. And what I just said is probably something that Adesanya has never considered until he just heard me say it. He's probably going, God, Chael might be onto something there. You guys have heard the expression about burn your ships, right? It was the Spanish conqueror that when he came onto the island, he turned to his men, the very boats that they came on, he said, light those boats on fire. They go, what are you talking about? We light the boats, we can't leave. And the guy said, that's exactly right. We must win. We have no other way out. But it's a very real thing in life. As powerful as that story is, but it's a very real thing in life. Where you've got to burn your ships. There is the winners in life, the true winners. Plan B is plan A. Plan C is plan B, which was plan A. There is no way out. It is only forward. It is I must win. Adesanya was not put in that position. I'm digressing into a topic that's a little off the one and the point that I'm trying to make for you, which is if Dustin goes up to 170 as the champion, and he said he's only going up if he's got the belt, but if he goes up as the champion, we have a byproduct of a weight class that is left vacated, who we have a very clear answer who the next best guy is, which is Charles Oliveira. As a matter of fact, as the story is being printed right now, Oliveira is the best guy. The next best guy is Dustin Poirier. But if you just look at that from a practical matter, and one of them leaves, the other still exists. He hasn't gone down. He hasn't lost his spot. So do you have to put him? If Oliveira is to lose to Poirier, is Oliveira's next match for the lightweight championship? The answer is probably no. In all fairness, I think we all know how that's going to play, and it is probably not. But this was almost tested in Justin Gaethje's shoes, and Dana almost liked the idea. So that's enough for us to give us a jumping off. We got to start somewhere, right? We got to start somewhere. I submit for you, if Dustin leaves, Oliveira returning is the place we start.